You know, it's about time we get Lightning McQueen involved in the 12 Days of Christmas, especially the 10th season of it. Usually, historically, in these seasons, McQueen gets involved in a big way and in a big way early. I remember, I think it was 2017, we started off day one with Primer McQueen. A couple of years ago, we did that canceled black neon glow in the dark McQueen. Now, last year, his first appearance was also in day 7. And so kind of following a little bit of the template of last year, but a lot of good stuff in store for the last half of this season. But yeah, guys, welcome back. 12 Days of Christmas, Season 10. You know what we're doing here. Today we have a metallic Cars 3 Lightning McQueen Factory Custom. There are a few differences I want to share with you between this and the Chinese version that Mattel did in 2018 for the Scavenger Hunt series. And I want to also compare him to a bunch of other McQueens, whether that be another metallic factory custom, a pink factory custom, or some of Mattel's own doing in terms of metallic McQueens. But before we get to all that, I do want to shout out the suggester for today's review, and that is Jalen Robinson 7389. Really appreciate your support, encouragement, kind words. I always enjoy reading and responding to your comments and talking with you. So I really appreciate that, and I hope you enjoy this review. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Now, we're going to do a side-by-side comparison with the official release, like I said, 2018 Scavenger Hunt series. And right off the bat, you can see probably the biggest difference is going to be that expression. And I don't know, man, I'm kind of digging the factory custom expression a little bit more than the Mattel one. The Mattel one just looks a little bit too gimmicky, and it's the expression we see on almost all the Cars 3 McQueens, right? I mean, it's the exact same that they used on the regular version, and it's very similar to a bunch of the other ones, of course, they did. So I am kind of leaning toward the factory custom, plus I like the smaller mouth as well. This one just looks like too much teeth. But going a little bit further here, looking at the hood logos. Now, this is back when Mattel made cars from China, so decal clarity won't be an issue here. You know, we're not comparing this custom to Thailand blurry decals, in which the factory custom would definitely have clear ones. Here it's going to be a tighter race. So you can see it's a smaller Rust-eze logo. It's a darker Rust-eze logo. It's not as gradient. Like, see, it's darker and then lighter. Here it's just kind of dark all the way through, but you still have bumper ointment, rear end formula. Let's make sure they spelled everything right, because that's something that the Chinese factory customizers struggle with, and understandably so. It's a completely different language, let alone a different alphabet. But yeah, the rear end formula text is a little smaller, a little thinner. But yeah, you do still have the bolts on both there for the hood. Very nice and shiny. And one difference I could see is that the factory custom is lacking this 95 number logo that McQueen has below his left, or our left, his right headlight. So that is just not there. And honestly, it kind of gives it a cleaner look. I don't really care too much either way for that, although I guess it would not be accurate. Another big difference that the factory custom has here are the wheels. So with factory customs, they have like smaller wheels, bigger tires. If you could see here, the black wall kind of extends a lot further down, and it's a little bit darker like on the inside between the tire and the wheel there. Here, you know, the wheel comes all the way up to the text almost of Lightyear, and the Lightyear text is even bolder, it looks like, on the factory custom. But it's also not quite as metallic. I mean, it is still shiny wheels. They aren't the same as the regular ones here. There's your comparison there. So they are a little darker, but I would say that the factory custom did a better job of making them metallic and match the body color overall. Now, looking at the contingency sponsors here, you have Piston Cup, Octane Gain, RPM Revolting, and Clutch Aid. And these are way different. So the factory custom, again, here's on top. And you can see that Octane Gain's a little darker. RPM's about the same. Piston Cup the same. We get down here, the Mattel official version has Revolting in like an orangish color. The factory custom has it in a darker red, and honestly a little bit better. I think that's more accurate to Revolting. We know Revolting is like a dark red and black color scheme, so I think that makes more sense than the orange. And then you have Clutch-ade in blue versus green, so that's the big difference right there. And I would probably, I mean, the Clutch-ade in green is definitely fair. The Clutch-ade in blue is fair. Both, have that same color. Both colors apply to that sponsor. So interesting there. Maybe there's two universes here that we're looking at. And then humongous differences in the flame job that we're taking a peek at here. The back flame, you can see it's kind of like the Ghost Shadow flame is a little like bronze burnt orange there below the yellow bolt, which is a little bit thicker on the real deal. Here it's a little lower, a little sharper, a little darker, and then the flame behind it's kind of like a gray and much more visible, stands out a little bit more. Everything's just kind of darker and more rustic colors, I would say, or more drab colors. You also see that the windows are a little bit more see-through. It's a little bit better in person, but you can kind of see how the light comes through there, whereas here they are much darker because there's an interior piece that's obstructing your view. But then again, it is still different from how Thailand does some of their windows now in like full opaque gray, like you can see here on Clutch Kringle. All right, getting back to the comparison here, let's zoom out a little bit. So you have the Lightning McQueen signature there on the roof, 95 there on the roof as well. Pretty similar. A little bit thinner, not as bright as the yellow on the real dealio. Taking a look at the spoilers here, pretty similar. This one has a like red glow behind the logo. This one is just a flat yellow logo. Take a look at the gas cap here. So the factory custom does not have a gas cap, confirming that McQueen has become an electric car. Just kidding. It does have the indentation. You could feel it, but obviously they did not put the little dot that the Mattel version does. So that's a knock against the factory custom for sure. Rust-eze, medicated bumper ointments, 95. We're knocking down cacti. Darker 95 logo for sure. Thinner bolts to connect the spoiler to the body. I kind of like that. That looks a little bit more realistic than the like silver streaks, and they kind of bleed over the actual bolt themselves. So that's a plus for the factory custom. Let's take a look at the bases here. See, mine has a chip on it, which is not ideal, but it's been like that since I opened it, I think. 3317, so the 331st day of 2017. Yeah, he was released bright and early in terms of 2018. And let's check out the base here. It's probably just going to say, May and Chai Children's Toy Car. No, it's not. It's a collectible. That's inaccurate. Get out of here. What the hell, Copa? Get out of here. I'm just kidding. But yeah, you know what I mean? That's how you could tell and identify immediately this is a factory custom. People ask me all the time, how can you tell? And there are some dead giveaways. Obviously, sometimes they don't have that writing on the base, so you can't use that. But there are a lot of gives. I don't think the factory customizers are trying that hard to conceal that they are fakes, because a lot of these ones that they do, Mattel never did, right? So there's only one option at that point. It's either a canceled car, which is pretty unlikely, or it's a custom, right? We know Mattel, nor anyone, has ever attempted a green Cars 1 Lightning McQueen, right? We know that. We know they've never done a pink one. And they've done this for years now, right? So it's pretty evident that those are factory customs. And then when you get stuff like this, that's a little bit borderline, obviously the expression's different. There's missing decals, different colors, different base. But, getting on with like some more of the kind of thread the needle, like, oh man, is this Queen real or fake? Because there are a lot of fake Queens, a lot of fake Chewie the Bulldozers out there. And there are tells on there too. I would have to get them and like see them. You'd have to send me a picture of your Queen that's in question, in doubt. I could tell you pretty easily. But it does, yeah. It comes down a lot to the base. I think the base is probably the most consistent tell, because a real thing could get maybe a little banged up and then you can't quite discern the external details, the aesthetic details as much. But yeah, if you look at the base, the base for the Queen should always kind of have a number in 2011, because she was released in 2012 or early 2012. So if it doesn't have that, that's definitely a bad sign. But who knows? I don't have a factory custom the Queen, so maybe they were able to get that part. But like I said, they aren't trying to really fool you. Like I did want to compare this factory custom to a few of the other ones they did. One of my favorites being this Chrome Cars 3 Lightning McQueen, which I think is, one of the best that they've done over the last few years, just because it's so different and it offers a whole new layer of collecting to, the community who like these. I know a lot of people don't buy factory customs because it's morally, it is illegal, but hey, Mattel hasn't tried to stop them in a decade plus, right? So at the end of the day, they're clearly okay with what's going on, and they don't have the willpower to shut it down. And I know that a lot of people still don't buy that, but I'm cool with it. Like, I like these. I love the additional layer that they bring to the hobby, and that's why I do so much of them on the channel. Like, I love giving them attention, even if they are counterfeits, right? But at the end of the day, they're also very cheap, very reasonable, super easy ways to get into the hobby. You could feel like you have some really cool stuff and not blow the bank, right? You can have some really awesome pieces like this Chrome McQueen and have only spent like $7 on it, right? So I think that's a wonderful, wonderful way that they allow you to get into the hobby. And I also wanted to mention, I just noticed that the factory custom doesn't have the bolts on either side. So that's another omission that you could easily tell there. But yeah, if you're ever in question, just message me on Instagram or Twitter or email me. The email address is in the description about section of my channel. And you could always email me. I respond very, very quickly on there. But anyways, yeah, cool factory custom here. They did a gold one like this. Here are a couple of Mattel's own metallic McQueens. There was this gold Rust-eze McQueen in 2021 for the presumed 15th anniversary. They never told us it was for the anniversary, but we can assume they released a gold McQueen in the 15th anniversary year. So, connect the dots, leave it to Mattel to, leave some doubt to you. But they also did that same year these racing reds, probably another type of way to celebrate the 15th anniversary. But again, who knows? They didn't specify on the package. And a lot of people think these are chases. Same with the real version of this. Nope, they are their own series, Scavenger Hunt and Racing Red. So it does kind of frustrate me when people try and, I wouldn't say deceive others, but just be completely misinformative by calling what's definitely not a chase, because a chase has garnered such a reputation since 2008 when they did their first one, because they are rarer, right? At the end of the day, some of them, like Lee Race in 2013, end up not being rare, but a lot of them do. Fabrizio Sir Harley Gas up in 2012. Yeah, like, Lord have mercy, right? Some of them get super duper rare. And so to just kind of throw that name around to scavenger hunts and racing reds, I think is a little bit of a defamation of the chase name and not accurate at all, because some of these series cars do not have the same rarity metric. They don't have the same standard as chases at all. They specified chases comprise less than like 4 or 1% of the entire assortments, right? So they didn't say anything, jack squat, about racing reds or scavenger hunts. I went a little tangent there, but I think it's important to note, because I do see a lot of people doing that. It's definitely not just a few people. Here is a factory custom of Cars 1 Metallic McQueen. This one's really cool. I don't like the expression on this one though, but I do like the wheels a lot though, that they add the yellow trim on there, which is something they never have really done. Well, Mattel's never done on a Cars 1 McQueen. So these look really cool together. And it would be awesome if they did a Cars 2 World Grand Prix McQueen. However, Mattel did that one, so it's not really that big of a deal. And yeah, they also have done a metallic Dragon McQueen, which Mattel did do, but with the mean expression. So now you get him with the happy expression. So I think this is one of the best they've done also over recent years. It's a full metal body and it's fantastic quality. I think it's one of the best, like I said, that they've done. And yeah, if you guys are good and not naughty, you might see another little factory custom on the 12 Days of Christmas docket slate. Let's upright this cactus here. There we go. Please don't fall over. All these moving pieces here. We got cacti, we got gifts, we got candy cane falling. We can't have that. Christmas is only a few days away. We can't have our decorations coming down. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching day 7 of the 12 Days of Christmas. Let me know in the comment section below. Which one is your favorite? Which do you prefer? I'm going to have to go with the real deal, obviously. But the factory custom offers you a great way to get it. I do know that this version here is not crazy expensive. Maybe like $20, $25 at most. So, it depends. Would you save $15 and get a fake? Or just spend the $25 and get the real deal? That trade-off is up to you. You let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks as always for watching. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Bye now.